Yeah, more states are piling on and calling out the Biden administration over this devolving, disastrous Title IX regulation that they changed. It basically endangers women and now protects the Rainbow Brigade in schools instead. I mean, it's unbelievable. 6 more states are now suing, including West Virginia, Kentucky, and Tennessee, which are leading the latest charge. Tennessee's Attorney General Jonathan Skirvin saying, under this radical and illegal attempt to rewrite the statute, if a man enters a woman's locker room and a woman complains that makes her uncomfortable, the woman will be subject to investigation and penalties for violating the man's civil rights. Federal bureaucrats have no power to rewrite laws passed by the people's elected representatives, and I expect the courts will put a stop to this unconstitutional power grab. I mean, yeah, what about the actual women's rights themselves? Republican Senator from Tennessee and Judicial Committee member Marsha Blackburn. Senator, I sit there and I'm thinking, well, how about the women's rights, the ones that are actually in the bathroom that make them feel uncomfortable? Because we're all about feelings, right?
Well, we used to be all about feelings, didn't we? And now they've decided they're not about protecting women. They're not about how these women are going to feel when they have to share locker rooms and when they're having to play on teams against biological males. And, you know, as they have rewritten Title IX and changed the rules around Title IX, look at what they've done. They've ensured that you're going to have biological males who identify as females playing on teams both with and against biological females. So this is something, as hard as we have worked to provide opportunity for women and girls, as hard as we have worked to make certain that high schools and colleges had sports teams for girls and for women, now that's going to go away with the Biden administration's interpretation of Title IX.
But, Senator, it's like, you know, our founding fathers, they waged a war over a 2% tax on tea. Now we fork over 50% to the government. We have, you know, 20 years ago, you would never have thought that a president of the United States would be signing into rule, not law, rule, that men can use women's bathrooms in schools. What's next?
Every day, I think I've seen it all, heard it all out of this administration. And every day they come up with something else. And the way they have gone about women, first, they can't define a woman. I found that one out in my questioning of a Supreme Court justice. And then they decide that they're going to allow biological males to represent themselves as female. And now they're going to change Title IX, which has been there to protect girls and women and allow men and boys into girls and women's sports. You know, it is one thing after another, and every single day we think, what are they going to do next? Because things that break down our institutions, things that disadvantage the American people, it seems to be their focus.
Yeah. Well, Senator, you know, I want to ask you about your bipartisan bill that the president actually is expected to sign, believe it or not. It's called the REPORT Act. It looks to crack down on big tech companies that don't report crimes against children, which should be a no-brainer, but because we live in 2024, you have to actually put this into law. Tell us about this.
Yes, the REPORT Act would require social media platforms, when they have predators and pedophiles that are on their platforms, people that are sharing child pornography or exploitative material about children, then social media platforms will have to report them to law enforcement and to NCMEC. It also allows NCMEC to capture and hold for a longer period of time this information and then to send it back over the internet to law enforcement, to prosecutors and judges, so that we can actually get these guys into court. We can try them. We can get them in prison and keep them off the internet and keep them from harming children.
Yeah, I mean, it seems super rational. Shocked there's a bill. Did anybody vote against this, ma'am?
No, this actually went through unanimous. Senator Ossoff, John Ossoff from Georgia, he and I have worked on this. And it was through our Human Rights Subcommittee there at Judiciary Committee. I'm the top Republican. And we worked in a bipartisan manner. It went through the Senate with unanimous support and
Fabulous.
through the House, same way, and it's on its way to the president's desk.
And it puts me up in feeling confident that at least some good people are still there. Senator Marsha Blackburn, you are one of them. We do appreciate you joining us, and we appreciate this bill.